Alrighty, we are going to begin working on our pine section, which is going to include the cinnamon brown that we've already been working with. But I'm also going to be using, once again, I love this yarn in light sage and dark olive. Those are the two colors that I'm going to be using for our pine needles. You can set those aside for the moment. Right now we're going to be working on establishing like our tree bark, which is going to include some more front post double crochet stitches. We're already pretty used to those, so let's go ahead and get started on this first round. Now we are treating this chain 5 that we ended with on the last section as a part of the 5 of the corner. So the instructions say to slip stitch to the 3rd double treble. So that's going to be this little guy right here. Now go ahead and chain 3, and we're starting our corners, and we're going to be working in corners from now on. So double crochet, chain 3, and put 2 more double crochets in that same spot. And now I'm going to have you double crochet in 25. I am not going to make you sit here and watch me do all 25 of those, so give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, now 25 double crochets should have landed you right before the 3rd double treble of that corner 5 once again. So we're going to stick our corner in there, which is going to be 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 double crochets. All right, so we're going to have just a real quick discussion about how we're going to be counting from now on going forward. So these chain 3 spaces right here are going to be our corners, and we are never going to count those corner chain spaces no matter where we are in the blanket unless it is specifically stated in the pattern itself, which I almost never do that. So just pretty much bank you're not going to be counting those chain 3 spaces. So what you are going to be counting is anything in between those 2 spaces. So we did 25 double crochets here, but we're also going to count the 2 that we put before and the 2 that we put after. So technically we have 29 double crochets per side. Make sure that you have 29 double crochets on each of your sides, and then you'll know that you're counting in the right way. All right, so what we're going to do is that repeat is going to be double crochet in 25 and then put your corner in, which is 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets. And then once you get over here, obviously we started with the 2 double crochets in our corner. So you'll finish with your 25 double crochets and slip stitch to your first chain 3. Go ahead and finish up this round. I'll be back for round 14. All right, moving on to round 14, it says to slip stitch to the corner. So that means this one and right into the corner space. Then we're going to chain 1. And here we're going to do a round of single crochets. So in this corner, we're going to single, chain 3, and single. And this is going to be nice and simple. Just go ahead and single crochet in each single crochet across to the corner and put a single, chain 3 single in each of the corners. And then when you get to this single here, go ahead and slip stitch to join. All right, it's a nice easy round. I'll see you in a minute. And round 15, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to the corner again and chain 3 this time. We're going to double crochet, chain 2 this time, and 2 double crochets in that corner space. Now here is where we're going to begin to create that tree bark, that pine tree bark. Of course, it's all subjective. It's not actually going to look like bark, but we're going to do our best, right? Okay, so first we're going to double crochet in 1. And then we are going to front post around the double crochet 2 rows below. So 1, 2, front post around that double crochet. and then double crochet into the next and skipping this one behind. That's going to be our repeat for 15 times. So you should have a total of 15 of these front posts when we're done with this little section here. All right, repeating that 15 times should take you right up to this very last double crochet over here. You will double crochet into the last single crochet before the corner, and then you're going to do a corner of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And then you'll just repeat that again, starting with double crochet in 1, and then starting your front post double crochet, repeat going across. All right, go ahead and finish this up. When you get over to this side, slip stitch 2 the chain 3, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, we've completed round 15. We're moving on to round 16. It's going to be another really easy row. Slip stitch to the corner, chain 1. This is another single crochet row. So we're going to single, chain 2, and single. And make sure, I'm sorry, I should have said this before, make sure that you've got a total of 35 stitches going across before you move on. Because after this round, we should have 37 after round 16, which is what we're working on at the moment. So we're just going to single crochet in every stitch going across. And once again, I'm not going to make you watch me do this because I think you know how to do it too. So go ahead, work on this. Single crochet in each stitch, single crochet, chain 2 single in each of the corners, and I will see you at the end. Slip stitch to your first. And we're moving on to round 17. Go ahead, slip stitch into our corner so we can start. And we're going to chain 3. This is going to be another one of our texture rows. So we're going to double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets into this corner space. All right, and now we're going to start our repeat. So double crochet into 1. Front post double crochet around the double crochet 2 rows below, just like we did last time. Skip that one behind and double crochet into the next. And we're going to do that a total of 18 times. So continue this. Which, let's see, let's do it together one more time. So we're skipping, obviously, if we're doing a double crochet here, we're skipping the double crochet down here and going into the next, and then double. So this is going to be offset so that the double crochets or the front post double crochets end up kind of next to each other. This is actually called the Alpine Stitch. I like to call it tree bark. Okay, let's just take a look at that real quick. All right, so you can see how your front post double crochets are going in between the other front post double crochets. Go ahead and continue this across, and I will be over here to do the corner with you, and then I'll let you finish up this round on your own. Okay, 18 repeats will bring you right up to the next corner, so go ahead and do your 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the corner space. And you should have, I believe it's 41 stitches going across each side. Alrighty. It does kind of want to roll, but that'll change in just a little bit. So go ahead, finish up the rest of this, slip stitch to the first chain 3 of this round, and then we're going to just actually do some single crochet rows after this, and I will be back after I'm finished and I'll get you set up, and then we'll move on. All right, we've just completed round 17 and we're ready to move on to round 18, but let's just have a conversation real quick here. Round 18, 19, and 20 are all going to be exactly the same. We're going to do single crochet rows with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in each corner, and a single crochet into every stitch going around. By the time that you hit the end of round 20, so remember this is 3 rows, by the end of round 20, you're going to have 47 single crochets per side. That is noted in the instructions in the pattern, but just in case you missed it, I just want you to hear it on the video as well. You should have 47 single crochets per side after round 20. I'm going to leave you to go ahead and do this. It's going to get set up exactly the same way as we've been doing them. Slip stitch into the corner, chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in the corner, and then single in every single stitch. Alrighty, I'm going to let you get to it. I'll see you after 3 rounds. All right, we have completed round 20. You can go ahead and cut your brown. You don't have to leave a super long end for it because we're just going to work that in as we're going. Now, here's a little secret that I'm going to share with you as we're moving forward. I always start in whatever open corner is to the right of my string so that I can crochet over it as I go over that corner. Alrighty, so we're going to be moving on to the pine needles portion of the pine, and I'm going to be using the light green and the dark olive, light sage for this, and the first thing that I'm going to be starting with is the light green color. All right, round 21 instructions say to join with a chain 1 to any corner space. I've done that, and now we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in that corner. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet into 3. And here's where we get into some specialty stitches. The SP1, SP2, SP3, those all refer to doing the spike stitch and what row you're going to be putting that spike stitch into. So when it says to SP1, spike stitch 1 row down. So this is the row we're working on. So you would go 1 below that. SP2 means to count 2 rows down. So 1, 2. So we would be going into this. I should be showing you holes. 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, and so on. So SP1 is what we're going to be starting with. So spike stitch 1, so go down 1 row. Go in like you would a normal single crochet, but you're going to be working over this whole thing. So make sure as we're getting into the longer ones that you're not making them too tight because it'll squeeze everything down. And then the next one is to spike stitch 2. So directly below the stitch that we're working on, 1, 2. And you can see I'm pulling each one of these loops a little bit longer, and then 1, 2, and 3. You are going to be working into the space right between the single crochet and the double crochet from the row below. That's okay, that's where we're supposed to be. And keeping that kind of loose. You're not going to have anything to skip over technically on this round that we're working on here because we're actually covering the stitches from round 20 with the stitches from round 21. And now after we get down to SP3, we're going to go back to an SP2, spike stitch, and then an SP1. And then in the next one, we're going to do a regular single crochet. And then we're going to start that repeat over again. So go into the 1 row below. We're going to be making a series of these little swoops like this. And then 2. And then 3. And then 2. This one's an easy one to see if you've skipped a stitch because if you don't have 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, you know you've missed something. And then single in the next. We're going to do that repeat a total of 7 times. So we'll have 7 of these little swoops or spiky portions, however you want to call it. All right, go ahead and continue working that all the way across. I will meet you back over here when it gets to the repeat stops right before the last 2 stitches, and we'll work those in the corner together, and then I'll let you finish up. All right, and just remember that this repeat finishes with a single crochet right after that last SP1. And the reason I say that is because if you get over here and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got 3 stitches left, that's okay. That means you need to finish your repeat. And then we'll pay attention to the last 2 stitches. And we're going to single crochet into each of them. And then single, chain 2, and single into the corner. Now go ahead and start the repeat over, because the repeat actually starts at the single crochet corner, and then you'll single crochet into 3, and then you'll start your spike stitch repeats going across. Go ahead and finish up the last 3 sides. When you get over to here, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Don't cut this color off, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, let's move on to round 22. Well, 22, 23, and 24. So the next 3 rows are going to be nothing but single crochet rows. And so you're going to slip stitch to the corner, chain 1, do your single, chain 2, single in the corner, and then just go to town on single crocheting in each stitch going across. You're going to do that for the next 3 rows. So 22, 23, and 24. After round 24, you should have 55 single crochets per side. And then after that, you're going to switch over to dark olive, but make sure that you've got that many stitches. So this round that we have here, round 21, was 49 stitches per side. The one that we're going to be working on, 22, is 51 stitches per side. Round 23 is going to be 53 stitches per side. Round 24 is 55. So if you're taking notes, just in case you don't have the actual pattern in front of you, because all that information is in the original pattern. So just make sure that you've got 55. The reason being is because it's really important in order for us to make sure that our next set of spikes lines up exactly where it needs to be. Alrighty, I'm gonna let you go for rounds 22 through 24. I'll be back here when we're ready to switch colors. All right, round 24 is complete. I've got 55 stitches per side. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. You don't have to leave a long end again. We're gonna stitch that piece in as we're going around. Now we are going to switch over to our dark green color, and we're going to join in any chain 2 space with a chain 1. Now do our single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the corner again. This time we are going to single crochet into 4, and then we're going to get into our spike stitches. All right, we're going to follow that exact same spiking pattern that we did before. And the way that we're doing this is so that our peak, or the long one, is going to end up where this short single crochet is. So our peak should end up here for the first one. I just cannot grab my yarn today. Okay, here we go. So go down, spike 1, spike 2, spike 3. Okay, so that's exactly where we need it to be. And hang on a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The single crochet before our spikes start. Now spike 2 and spike 1 and single crochet. And that single crochet should correspond with the long stitch down here. And it does. So we are right on target for our repeat going across. As this gets larger, it gets harder to hold on to. So I'm sorry, I'm fiddling around so much. Okay, go down 1, spike 1, spike 2, spike 3, and that lines up right where it needs to be over that single crochet, spike 2, spike 1, and single. We're going to do that repeat a total of 8 times over. So like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now remember, when you get over here, it says we're going to repeat this across to the last 3. You're going to end up with 4 after your last spike stitch. So don't forget to finish off your repeat, which the repeat ends in a single crochet. So you will only have 3 stitches left on this side, and then do your corner. Alrighty. And I am going to just, I think you know what you're doing. So I'm going to let you finish this up all the way around and slip stitch to the first single crochet. And then we'll be back for round 26 after this. All right, we are on round 26 and I slip stitched to the corner, and I'm going to, and I chained 1, I'm going to single crochet and chain 2, single crochet, and this round is just a single crochet all the way around in each of the stitches. You should have 59 stitches each side after you complete these rounds. And then after you're done with this row, this is the last that we're going to be working on, the pine section. We are going to switch and do something called burlap ribbon next time, and you are going to need to have an off-white or an ivory and a brown, a lighter brown, whatever your choosing is. I'm going to be probably using a light taupe for that. So that'll be the next section that we start. And so after you're done with this, you can go ahead and cut it off and tuck in your ends for your green, and then we'll move on in the next portion of the video.